Hello, winners. Let's take a look at the confidential wealth quiz. This is a quiz we used at a recent training, high-level boot camp, and you're going to learn a lot, not only about money, how to think about what things really cost, but it'll be valuable for you in planning your financial future. So, of course, you want to take and you want to fill it out and do it as best you can. Okay? And then you see we have an answer key here, but I'm going to go through every one of the questions right now with you and make some training out of it here. So let's start with this. Okay, how much is your automatic weekly pay after tax? Let me share the screen here so we can go through this together. Okay, how much is your automatic weekly pay after tax? Remember now here at Winner's Edge, you want to get paid the exact same amount every week. Not paid every 2 weeks, not paid every 2 weeks with another goofy draw every once in a while. Exactly the same amount every week, either paycheck, 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 or paycheck draw, paycheck draw, paycheck draw. The net amount, like 2,000, 2,000, 2,000, 2,000. Not 1,983 one week and 1,000 other week. It's exactly the same every week, so you know what's going into your personal account every single week. Okay? This is critical for future wealth. You have to know the exact amount that goes in automatically every week. Then you could have a monthly bonus. At the end of the month, you can take your account and drop it down, take the rest as a draw/bonus. Okay? So pay every week the same, monthly draw as a bonus. That would be the fundamental plan. Any variations of that usually cause problems. All right, for you to take home after tax another 1,000 a week, you need to collect how much more per month? Okay, well, let's take a look at that very quickly. Anybody want to take a guess at what that's going to be? Okay. Well, you got to collect $16,000 more to pay the overhead of roughly $8,000, leaves you $8,000. Okay, this is gross income. That means you're going to have to now pay tax. What's the tax on 8,000 bucks? Okay, well, it's going to be around 4,000, leaving you $4,000 in a month, and that brings you to your $1,000 a week net after tax. So it's serious, isn't it? You ask any chiropractor in the world, how much do you have to collect more in a month to get another 1,000 a week? They'll say, I don't know, 5,000 or 6,000, 16,000. And so basically, at a certain point, okay, what if you want to collect another 2,000 a week? Well, you got to collect another 32,000 total to be able to get paid, another 1,000 a week to get 2,000 a week net. Okay, you have to understand how math really works in a chiropractic office. Okay, let's go to the next question now. You can tell I've been talking to clients here for about 6 hours already today. Let's take a look here. Okay, next question. You take $3,000 from the clinic account for personal use. How much will you owe in federal tax? The answer is $3,000. Why? Well, let's take a look here again. Let me get my screen cleared up. Okay. Okay, it's not 3,000 minus 1,500 in tax equals 1,500. It's 3,000, and you had like 3,000 in tax. You started with 6,000. Okay. So 6,000, you're going to go about half in tax equals 3,000. So you have to work it this way, not that way. This confuses everybody. It confuses everybody. So if a chiropractor takes 1,000 bucks out of their clinic account, they think they owe like 400 or 500 in tax. No, you owe 1,000 in tax. For every dollar you take for personal use, you basically owe $1 in tax. Okay? Heavy, isn't it? So when you see a chiropractor become a multimillionaire, you're seeing someone who's been serious at collecting and saving and all of the disciplines, because taxes are way more than almost anybody understands. And if they're an employee someplace, they will never understand what taxes really are like, okay? And their bubblegum world of being an employee versus being self-employed and having to pay massive taxes. Okay, now let's go back over here and let's see what we've got. Okay, when you make your federal tax deposit, we want to have them automated every week. It is possible you could do it every 2 weeks because it saves money to do it every 2 weeks. Every time you run a payroll and do a deposit like that, there's a fee, okay? And so it can be done every other week, but we want our pay to be every week for sure. How much are you auto giving? We have to have our automated giving. How much? 1 to 10% of normally your net pay. So if you got paid 2, 4, 6, 8,000 bucks a month net, you might be giving away 800 a month net, okay, from the business usually. How much are you auto saving? Well, we have to be automatically saving. Remember now, for CAs, the goal is for them to save 10% out of every paycheck. And for the chiropractor, is a guide to get to where you're automatically saving your age. A 40-year-old chiropractor saving 40,000 bucks net after tax every year. Roughly 700 plus a week automatic savings after tax. Never, ever, ever missing a week. But there's things that come into play, houses, house down payments, other things, student loans. So we don't care about saving your age until your student loans are gone and you're in the right house and you're making an accelerated mortgage payment and then saving your age. So it's student loans gone, house mortgage accelerated, auto save age. If you're making a double mortgage payment and saving your age, you've pretty much won the game. Okay, that's a Winner's Edge exclusive. That's why the Winner's Edge Chiropractor is destined to be so financially solid. Okay, current monthly savings times 12 months equals how much you're saving in a year. How many years till you're 65? Okay, hey, are you happy with the track you're on money-wise? Most people are not. Okay, how much passive income do your assets generate right now? Okay, if you owned, I'll bring it back to the screen, back over to me. All right. If you had $100,000 saved, let's say in tax-free municipal bonds, they're going to earn you about $4,000 a year in passive income. Great. If you have $1 million put away, it's going to get you around $40,000 a year in after-tax passive income. Okay. Our modes of saving are, we have tax-free municipal bonds. We have a very specific type of a life insurance policy. We have what we do as it relates to our stock market investing, and we have 2 angles there. And that training is something we go over in detail in our money Zooms that we offer, that most chiropractors in the group will buy. The 2-hour money Zoom with me directly to go over all of your financial elements, okay? So I'm going to be doing those here. As of right now, when I made this video, I'm doing money Zooms. Okay, this video down the road, I may or may not be doing them, or I may have modified them by that time. But remember now, we have our ways that we invest money, and we have to handle that very, very smartly, and we can never, ever lose our money. Now, let's take a look back over here. Yeah, okay. Passive income, that's the name of the game. Okay, do you have a car loan or a lease? Okay, how much do you have to collect to pay for a vehicle? It's the cost of the car times 4. So if you think you're gonna get a $70,000 car, it's gonna cost you $280,000. Okay, that's how much you're gonna have to collect. Got to collect $280, pay the overhead of $140, pay the tax on the $140 to end up with the $70. How much total debt do you have? Let's multiply that plus the interest you're gonna have to pay on that debt times 4 equals how much you'll have to collect to pay any personal debt. Okay, how committed are you to becoming a healthy multimillionaire DC? Please tell me you're committed. Okay, how much do you owe on a house? Or how much is a house going to cost when you go to buy one? You're going to take the house, multiply it by 2, because that's how much interest you're going to have to pay. If you borrow $300,000, you're going to have to pay back 6 times 4. Okay, there you go. That's how much you'll have to collect. How many years will it take you to collect that? $1 million generally gets you $4,000 a month in after-tax passive income. Okay, all right. DC, 62 years old. They owe $240,000 on their house. It has a payment of $2,000 a month. How much must you have invested to get $2,000 a month in after-tax passive income? Well, if $1 million gets you $4,000, it's $500,000 bucks. So here's the question: is it easier to pay off the $240,000 or save up $500,000 in order to get your $2,000 a month. Normally, depending on the interest rate, it's better to pay off the house because you only have to pay off the $240 plus, let's say, $50 of interest, $290. So it's easier and faster to pay off the $290 to get yourself another $2,000 a month into your pocket than it is to have to save up $500,000. This is why paying off the house is so important in becoming wealthy. So we always accelerate the house payment. Chiropractor wants to be rich and get $7,000 a week after tax. They're going to have to collect well over $100,000 a month. What does that look like? Well, let's take a look here. You're getting the idea now. Getting the idea. We've got to collect, say, $110,000 a month. Say the overhead is $50,000. That leaves $60,000 a month. Minus $30,000 in tax equals $30,000. Okay? Well, 7,000 times 4.2 equals 30,000. So you got to be up over 100,000 a month to get a paycheck of $7,000 a week automatically. It is a big deal for a chiropractor to get paid $7,000 a week net after tax. Okay? This is a big goal to get to. All right? Some of you, that may not seem like that much, but it is. Okay? Because you should be able to make all of your house payment and all car payments out of that 1 week's net pay. So the other 3 weeks is money you can do many different things with. Okay? All right. Very good. Let's go back. Okay. Just to pay off $280,000 student loan, you're going to have to collect how much? Well, you're going to have to pay a bunch of interest. So let's say you got to pay back $480,000. Well, $480,000, that's after tax. So before tax, it's going to be $1 million. And so before overhead, it's going to be $2 million. $2 million minus $1 million of overhead leaves you $1 million. $1 million, the tax on that's going to be $500,000. It leaves you $500,000, so you can pay all the principal and interest on the student loan. So understand, $2 million collected to end up with enough money to pay off a student loan. How long will it take you to collect $2 million? To totally pay for a $500,000 house, you're going to have to collect how much? How much? Okay, well, you're starting to get the idea once again. We got a $500,000 house. We're going to have a bunch of interest, so you're going to pay back $900,000 or more. Okay, you got $900,000. That's after tax money. So you got $900,000. Okay, and the tax on that's going to be another $900,000 equals $1.8 million. Okay, okay. Then you got to add the plus the overhead. So you got to collect $3,600,000 to pay the overhead of 1.8, to pay the tax of $900,000, to leave you with the $900,000 to pay back the principal, interest, tax, and insurance, and that does not include the phantom payments for owning the house, which usually are the costs of the house all over again over the life of the house. Okay? All right. Okay, to save up $1 million, you're going to have to collect how much? To save $1 million. Well, it's going to have to be $4 million. So it's going to be $4 million minus the overhead of $2 million. Then the taxes of $1 million ends up with $1 million. Okay? It's kind of this multiple of 4 idea. You get that? You get a fourth of what you collect. And whatever you have in net pay, it costs you 4 times that in time in collections to get it. Okay, how much money do you think you'll need to live nicely when you quit working? Let's say it's $5,000 a month, $10,000, $20,000 a month. Well, how much are you going to have invested? Well, let's take a look here. If you want to have $10,000 a month, you're going to have about $2.5 million. Okay? The goal automatically for you and all chiropractors is to get over $2 million saved. You do that with a paid-for house, you'll be in good shape. Okay? Chiropractor wants to be totally free and never work again. $20,000 a month in after-tax money into the checking account should do it. How much will they need to have in assets to throw off that passive income? Well, $4,000 per million, well, times 5, that's going to be $5 million will get you $20,000 a month automatically without ever touching the $5 million. You could have less than that and eat part of the principal, okay, but that's a different scenario. Okay, chiropractor gets $10,000 a month after tax, $2,500 a week. They should have a house payment that is no more than what per month if they want to become wealthy? $2,500. You should be able to make your entire house or rent payment, principal, interest, tax, insurance, with 1 week's net pay. But I'm only getting paid $1,000 a week. Well, then you should live in a $1,000 a month place. That's what you can afford. This is where chiropractors get in so much trouble. Chiropractor gets paid $3,000 a week. What should they have for a car payment? All right, hang with me for a second here. It's easy for the house, okay? 1 week's net pay. Now, another way to look at it would be this, higher level detail here. If you collected $40,000 a month and the overhead was $20,000, that leaves you $20,000, okay? It's 1/4 of this. This person could handle $5,000, okay, a month in total housing costs, okay? Oh, excuse me. 20,000 minus the tax equals 10,000, okay? So this person here can handle a $2,500 a month principal, interest, tax, and insurance house payment, okay? $2,500 a week, 10,000 a month, okay? Now for a car, your gross pay here, say it's 10,000, the tax equals 20,000. Now, usually for a car, we work it for the year. So let's say the chiropractor got paid, collected 500,000 minus the overhead of 250 equals a gross pay of 250,000 before tax. Okay, in this case, this person can own a $25,000 car, 1/10 of your yearly gross pay. That may seem pretty low, doesn't it? Most people end up with a car payment way too big. One other way I want you to look at it is this. Ideally, on 1 week's pay, the net money into your personal checking account, you should be able to pay for your house where you live and your car payment out of that one paycheck. If you get $2,000 a week put into your account, that $2,000 should pay for where you live and for your car payment. If you get beyond that, you're not going to be able to save that much. Okay? If it takes you more than one paycheck to have the money to pay for where you live, and this, by the way, if you're married and someone's not working and you got to pay for 2 cars, Troy, that's so conservative. No, this is how you become wealthy. Okay, this is how it's done. Okay, rich people don't waste too much money on vehicles. Okay, I got this sweet Range Rover sitting out there, completely paid for. Has like 19,000 miles on it. Okay, I'm in good shape. I have 0 expense for vehicle, 0. Okay, all right. And as of right this moment, the properties I own are completely paid for. So I have 0. I have 0 money. Okay, for house payment, I have no house payments and I have no car payments. Okay, all right. Now, okay, chiropractor gets paid 10,000. Then we go for the car to become wealthy, the 3,000. So basically, at 3,000 a week, when you do that, here, I'll answer this question more directly. I'm sorry. Let me go back to these exact numbers here so you can see. We got 3,000 a week. That's 150,000 a year net, which is $300,000 a year in gross pay. So this person can afford a $30,000 car. A $30,000 car financed over 5 years ends up to be about a $600 a month car payment. Okay? So $3,000 a week, $600 a month for the car. So if they had a place that cost $2,400 a month to live, the $2,400 to live plus the car, they can pay it all with 1 week's pay. This chiropractor is going to be rich. Barring any other money mistakes. Okay, when I fully retire, Social Security is going to pay, the typical chiropractor is going to get about $3,000 a month, but we don't expect it to actually be there. Okay, so anyway. Insurances, you have to have an umbrella policy in case something should happen that's beyond your normal limits. Malpractice with 2 million, 4 million, not 1 million, 3. Of course, you have to have a term life insurance policy in place. And for many of you out there, we would recommend a whole life policy, but normally that's after student loans are paid and the chiropractor is in a house. All right, for a DC to become wealthy, we got to earn more, stop borrowing, work out, auto give, don't get too much house, avoid people who waste money, never loan money to friends or family, it never works out. Auto save religiously, crush your debt, don't blow your future on cars, toys, junk, dumb habits, or activities. Think ahead and see what most cannot, okay, like eternity, okay? All right. Next is this, draw the money flow diagram. I'll do an example here, although we have other videos on this. So here's how we roll on this, the unbelievable winner's edge money flow diagram. We always have what's going into the clinic right there, nice and precise. We auto give from the clinic right here to 1 or 2 sources. I like one that's an animal and one that's for people. That's just me. Then we're going to have all the expenses for the clinic, and then we're going to have any debt that's clinic debt, x-ray machine, equipment loan, practice loan. Then here, see, we go left to right. Then the money comes down and goes, we get paid into our personal checking. Here's the clinic checking. The tax is automatically paid every week or 2 weeks. Then from here, yes, we're going to have our personal expenses and we'll have personal debts. Here's a car payment, here's a student loan, personal credit card. Then the rest here is what we call fun. Sometimes we call it LS for lifestyle. Now, early on in practice, we will recommend a savings connected here. But once the practice is stabilized, the payment is, the auto pay is working, all bills are automated, you're making full payments on everything, everything on a student loan, this account is no longer necessary. Okay, that account is gone. Of course, down here, you can have a personal savings. Okay, normally that account is used to save up the down payment for a house. Then we're going to have our investment account 1. We recommend an investment account 2, and we have the very specific places and ways that we do that. And it's a possibility here that there could be another investment account 3, which is using a life insurance policy as an investment, but that may or may not be the case or ideal for any specific person. But every one of you should have these 2 in place, possibly this, and it's going to end up looking like that. Let's say you have a personal training business on the side that generates income. There, that has money going in there. Okay, let's say you own some real estate that has an LLC. Well, it's a separate account up here that looks like this. And it would have its own expenses and possibly its own debt. If we have a mortgage, the mortgage we draw like a hexagon like this over here. There's a mortgage, we call that M1. Once the house is paid for, we move it over here. These are the liabilities, the minuses, these are the assets, the pluses. Once the house is paid for, it becomes an asset for us. There, that's the general idea on the money flow diagram. If you don't have this and know what this is for yourself, you're in big, big trouble. You always have the goal for what you're collecting. This is where we mark how much we're going to be getting paid every single week. Okay? If you can see the flow of money, you can direct it. What tends to happen here, and I could do a lot of time on this, is many people are good at collecting money and getting it up into here, but it's top heavy. You have to get the money all the way through and down into your investments, because here's where it generates passive income, passive income, passive income, such that when the time comes that you can't practice anymore, okay, like this, then this money goes back here and it pays for your lifestyle for the rest of your life because you are now wealthy. You can completely live off the passive income from your smart investments. Okay? All right, very, very good. Now let's share the screen and go to the next part here. Okay, now this is our wealth affirmation by Evan Pagan. We have it as a handout that's on the website. And of course, you should read every word of it and you should understand this affirmation. Money is a tool that I use to create value, assets, and wealth. How is money a tool to create value? Well, you're paying to be part of a coaching group to make you more valuable to your patients. Therefore, you will earn more and collect more. Buying a piece of equipment, you spent money to be more valuable to people. That creates value. Therefore, they pay you. So then you can create assets and create wealth. Wealthy people are good, generous people. I should know I'm one of them. I bless wealth in the people who have it. I deserve wealth and give myself permission to create wealth. I bless all wealth and all wealth in my life. I control the process of creating wealth and becoming wealthy. By the way, notice I have all these memorized. I become wealthy to the degree I help other people become even more wealthy. I create as much value as possible in every situation, whether I'm paid for it or not. I become more attractive to wealthy and healthy people by displaying my inner qualities. I got to look at the right camera here. Okay. Owning more stuff only wastes my time, creates hassles, and takes me off track in my life. I give myself permission to fully receive any gifts or contributions that are offered to me. Money is attracted to me in increasing amounts from multiple sources on a continuous basis, and I love it. And then from the science of getting rich, we have to understand this final point here on the confidential quiz. The certain way referred to in the science of getting rich means everything that you do is either a success or a failure. Every office visit, every phone call, every word that comes out of your mouth, every response to every patient question, every email you send, every dollar you handle, it's either handled successfully or a failure as far as that tiny thing is concerned. So if you do every tiny thing in a successful manner, you will have to become rich in health, rich in relationships, and certainly rich financially. So I really want you to understand that. During the course of the day today, there's all these things you're doing today. All emails, all patient interaction, all calls, okay? Everything you eat, all your activities, every single thing you do. And at the end of the day, if you did 22,163 things, you want to have 22,163 be done successfully, like perfectly. You wouldn't change anything about how you did it. See, a successful person, a wealthy person, is a person that does more stuff successfully during the day. If you followed me around and say the typical chiropractor, it would look like we're doing stuff about the same. Okay? We're talking to patients, we're seeing people, we might have a team meeting, a team huddle, we're walking and talking and acting smart and all this stuff. But at the end of the year, I collected 1.27 and they collected 430. What was the difference moment by moment? I did more things in a successful manner. I said things a little bit better. I said them better more often. I handled money better. I handled money better more often. You get the point here? Every single thing you do today, it's either done in a successful manner or it's done in a failure manner. Okay? If I eat well today, I eat like garbage today. I saved money today. I spent money on stuff I shouldn't have today. I had very good scripting with my patients. I haven't memorized my scripting. See, it's very simple. You want to do everything in a successful manner. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback that ever played in the Professional Football League because he has done more things in a successful manner than he has in a failed manner. The ones who haven't done that well, they've done more of this than they've done of that. See how simple it is? So you want to do everything in your life perfectly. I don't care if you're putting a piece of gum in your mouth. You're washing your car. You're making an adjustment. You're preparing a report. You're investing $500. You're going to a seminar. You're spending time with a student. You're running your dog. You're prepping for dinner by boiling some potatoes. Every single thing you want to do in a successful manner. You just want to do everything right. Everything. Okay? Everything right. All right? I don't care if it's an outline for a talk you have coming up. You're making a social media post. You want to do everything right. Okay? I'll close on this. The great Charlie Munger, who is Warren Buffett's right-hand guy and has been for decades and decades, he says it very simply. We'll close on this. Be a person who deserves it. Well, I want to collect more. Well, be someone who deserves it. Well, I do deserve it. No, you don't. If you really deserved it, you would get it because you get what you deserve. And if I work hard and I pay the price and I put in the time and I do everything in a successful manner, well, then I deserve it. But if I didn't go in and get anything done on the weekends, and I haven't got my scripting down, and I haven't walked into any businesses, and I haven't met anybody new, and I'm really not doing much promoting, and I'm not in that good a shape, what do you deserve? Everybody gets exactly what they deserve. So be a person that deserves more by putting in the time and effort, paying the price, and without any doubt, you will get exactly what you deserve because the law of cause and effect is always at play. So let's put out the causes so we can have the positive effect of more people, more action, more referrals, more PVA, more money, more fun, more affluence, more joy, more freedom, more sharing, more generosity, more power, more of everything that makes life great. Okay, great training. Any questions? Let me know right away.